Hey loves, welcome back to another Tuesday tune-up. We have a big week this week. We're moving into the Spring Equinox. So harmonically, we're coming into a sense of balance between the seasons and daylight. And hopefully you're feeling all the sort of shifting. We're in this new moon cycle of Pisces and kind of we're out of the shadow of Mercury retrograde. I'm just feeling like a big sigh of relief, and I'm not sure exactly, I know some big things are coming. They're not quite here yet, but I'm just feeling like calm and centered and excited to make some changes and kind of move forward. So there's like a jubilant, more gentle, fresh start energy going on. And I can't wait to pull cards for the week and see what is in store. Hey, Carrie. So the Spring Equinox is Saturday, and it's one of my favorite holidays. Like, I don't know exactly how to explain why, but the last 5 years I've had spring events celebrating the equinox, because I just feel, especially I'm in the Northeast, we deal with really long winters, and I feel like it's so deserving of a celebration by the time spring finally comes around. It's really a moment to pause and breathe deeply into what has been processed and let go through this more quiet hibernation that we tend to go into in the winter. And we begin to kind of open the windows and clean and begin to move fresh energy. And so after this time of rest, there's a sense of renewal and new beginnings. And I can feel that. I can feel that there's just so much coming this year. It feels like the entire last year was a hibernation and a rest period for many of us. Everything was resting. Our culture was resting. Our systems, travel. We were just all taking a big collective break. And I'm feeling like now it's time to kind of begin to dust off and start fresh and see what the universe is holding for us. And I think it's going to be different than what we've been through before. I can just sense that it's the end of a chapter, and we're turning, or maybe even the end of a certain book, and we're really closing that up, and we're beginning to open up to a whole nother reality and a whole nother way of being. And I know I'm personally feeling more committed to seeing things in a new light and being more caring of my physical vessel. And I'm getting support with coaches and external systems to really hold me to that. I love that. It felt like I went back into the womb for self-healing. Yes, absolutely. I love that visualization. It definitely feels like, and now we're going to be coming out like rebirthed in a really, in a way that maybe we don't even fully understand. And we've been letting go of so much. It's been such a beautiful time of dying. But I do feel like with the spring equinox and even that last new moon, there's just a sense of like this calm right before some things really start to have a new beginning, and before they take momentum and before they start to roll in a new direction, let's get really clear on how we want to show up. Maybe we don't know exactly what we're going to be showing up to. You know, for me, I have some different like job opportunities and things in the works, some possibilities that I'm sitting with, and I've been making some little vision boards and really taking time to question, after all this time of introspection and being on my own, how can I best show up to make myself truly truly at peace and living my truth in the world. And I listened to a couple podcasts that I really love, and one of them is the Day Luna podcast. There are these two girls who live in LA who are human design aficionados, and they're great. And so if you can look up your human design at like jovianarchive.com, or just search like free human design chart online. Find out what your type is, and you'll find out what your strategy and authority are. And you'll learn how your specific body says yes and no, and teaches you what is right for you specifically. And so there's lots of different kinds of authority. Like there's emotional authority. I have sacral authority. So it's really like I feel in the moment what feels right. There's like a more environmental authority, all different kinds of things. Some, even for reflectors, they have to wait like a full moon cycle before making big decisions. So I think after working with them, I did a 6-month reading program with them, and we're wrapping up actually this week, which feels really significant. I feel like learning that my specific type, I'm a manifesting generator, learning that my type has to listen to my gut and make decisions in the moment has really helped me to trust what feels right in my body and then take steps into that. But it doesn't work that way for everyone. So finding out your specific strategy and authority and then following through on it is one of the biggest steps you can make, and one of the easiest things to learn on human design charts, because there's so much information on there. It would be a really good start to check that out. So let's take a minute to just drop in and see what wants to just kind of come through for us, and then we'll pull some cards. And it's a pleasure to be here with you all. I'm so glad you're here. So you can just take a minute, maybe close your eyes if you feel comfortable with that. And you can place maybe a hand over your heart or on your belly, or sit however is comfortable for you. And as you start taking some nice deep breaths in and out, I'll just have you lengthen your spine and maybe allow the shoulders to fall down if they've crept up near your ears like mine tend to do. And just scanning your body, we're gonna bring some relaxation to each point. So just noticing the energy at the top of your head, breathing in deeply and letting it go, softening the jaw and the neck and shoulders. Bringing some softness and awareness to the heart and the chest space. If you want to roll the shoulders back, maybe kind of just make a little space in there, a gentle heart opening. Bringing your attention to your belly and your hips, maybe doing a little gentle hip circle and just kind of loving on whatever is going on in there. If you just had dinner, just gently kind of massaging the area, encouraging and stimulating digestion. Noticing the knees and the thighs and the calves, bringing softness to the ankles and all the way into the tips of the toes and the bottoms of the feet. And just imagining at the base of the feet that you're growing your roots down deep into the earth and feeling your connection to something beyond your physical body, feeling your connection innately to the earth, through the gravitational pull, noticing how held you are, feeling the temperature of the air on your skin and feeling your connection to the room or the space that you're in, or if you're outside, feeling the air around you. And coming back up to the top of your head, we're just inviting and calling in spirit to flow down through you like a waterfall, and just maybe visualizing that energy of abundant and unconditional love just flowing down over and through you. Knowing on some level that you are so deserving of all this love, and letting go of any voices that are telling you that you're not, acknowledging with love any resistance that you're feeling to this, and knowing that it's totally okay to be having any of those thoughts, and just breathing deeply. And coming to your heart center. If you want to bring your hands together at heart center, I'll invite you to do that, or you can leave them where they are. Take a nice deep breath. Maybe reach the hands up overhead, and let's do a nice stretch. Oh, and as you're ready, you can gently flicker the eyes open and come back to center. Feeling yourself fully arriving in this space here and now. And before we pull our cards, I'll call on my guides, angels, ascended masters, plant devas, and animal spirits to be with us in this reading. Benevolent ancestors, each of our higher selves, and any other guides and beings of light who want to support us. We are open to your guidance and wisdom, and I'll ask that I can be a channel for what wants to come through for each of our highest good and the highest good of all. Yay. 9280, I'm so glad, or 89. I was just gonna call you 92. I'm not sure I don't know who it is, but I'm so happy you're here and that you're feeling grateful. It's nice to have those little recenterings after, I'm sure it has been sort of a full day for everyone and kind of just running around. It's great to kind of drop in together and can feel your energy, no matter how far apart we are. So it's lovely to be together. And welcome, Kiki. So glad you're here. All right, let's see what is in the cards for this beautiful equinox week. So I'm going to do the first part of the, is that what I want to do? I think I'm actually going to do, I'm trying to feel into this. I'm going to do a mind, body, soul, past, present, future spread today, which is not typically what I do. But I'm just feeling like that might be nice to see what's going on, especially for this equinox reading, something a little bit different. So I'm going to flip over the cards and then see what wants to come through and kind of show it to each of you. Interesting. So I'm going to note some of these are reversed, but I will flip them around just so we can see right now. All right, so flip our camera here. All right, so we've got our mind, body, soul spread here, and we're working with Bakara Whitner's Way Home deck here, and this would be past, present, and future. And let's just start at the very beginning here. This is kind of a just like totally accurate one for me going on right now. All right, so in our mind, we're having this Empress card showing up, and the Empress is all about receptivity, connection to nature, feminine flow, She is the epitome of the feminine energy. And here we see this beautiful, like, blossoming tree. And so in our minds, I think we're all recognizing this spring energy. And on some level, we are open to this, like, receiving. We're ready to step into this new beginning and into what can be like a more lush life as the trees start to come back and the energy is growing. So we know, I think, on some level that we're really wanting that, and that's in our minds, and we're open to it. However, this is interesting because this has been coming up for me too. The Five of Pentacles is showing up as our body card. And for me, this is like these tomatoes are overripe and they're kind of splitting. It's like when you're at the end of the season, maybe you've let them sit out in the fall and they've gotten kind of funky and they weren't able to share their deliciousness with us in time, and they've sort of rotted here. Five of Pentacles is typically like a fear of really receiving, which is the opposite of this Empress energy. And I've been noticing, I'm sure many people feel this way, like COVID stress has been really challenging on our bodies. And I know I personally, like, literally put on the COVID-19 pounds, and maybe we just haven't been physically able to care for ourselves in the way that was needed. And we're feeling a little bit like sort of like overwhelmed in how do we care for our bodies at this moment. And that's been something that I've personally been juggling right now, and I literally signed up to get a health coach to walk me through it, and I can't say enough about getting support at this time, whether it's getting a workout buddy or one of those like plans where you can cook more healthy food at home, or something that feels right to you. Like maybe it's just beginning to drink more water, or even just maybe it has nothing to do with food or weight for you, but it's maybe beginning to have more time for yourself at some point throughout the day. I know a lot of people like the morning practice. Some people like an evening practice. But a moment to drop in with your physical body and actually listen to it and see what it needs. Beginning to speak to our bodies again. I think that we've all been in such a fight or flight mode lately that we really, it's not our fault, it's been kind of an intense time, and I know many of us have just been coping to get through the best we could. So now that we're feeling a little bit more grounded, we're feeling that we're more in this Empress energy, at least mentally, I'm really feeling that we're being encouraged to sit with our bodies and slow down and ask our bodies what they need. And maybe for you, it's just 2 minutes of breath work first thing in the morning. Maybe it's going on a walk. Maybe it is 10 minutes of stretching. Maybe it's just a little dance party at some point throughout the day when you want to wake back up. My friend Aya recently introduced me to a 5-minute shaking practice where you set a timer for 5 minutes and you kind of just jump around and like shake your body. Like you shake your neck and your arms and your belly, and you just kind of shake it all out, and then ground afterwards and sort of do like a breath in and bring your energy back to center. And it was so powerful. I was literally blown away by how powerful it was. So I'm just feeling that we all need to kind of shake off some of the, like prune back the dead parts so that the new parts can grow. I'm feeling like physically, if we imagine that we're a plant, we're getting ready to blossom in the spring, and we need to kind of take away the dead parts and shake it off, kind of prepare so that we can feel our best and have more space to really receive what it is that is coming to us, which is going to be a lot. I feel like we're going to have a real new beginning this year. And then our spirit card, and this came up for us last week really potently too. I think it was like what was crossing us is the Five of Wands. And this is so interesting because typically, I mentioned last week, this card shows up as like 5 different people who are kind of having a hard time working together and figuring out like which direction to go, and they're kind of getting in a fight about it, and it's not really serving anyone because they just are having a hard time communicating. However, I'm feeling like as we are mentally getting ready to receive, and we know that there's this new beginning with Empress, some part of us needs to do a little bit of exploring and throw our arrows out, kind of cast our arrows out in different directions to see what sticks. And the same energy is coming up for us this week, a sense of like, we know that there's going to be a new beginning. We know that there's just some sort of new, fresh energy in store, but maybe we're not sure what exactly it is that we want. So this point in time, I like seasonally to make vision boards. But I think right now we're being really asked to get clear on what it is that we want so that we know which direction we're going. So we're not kind of fighting with our mind, body, and spirit. We want all of the pieces of us to be on the same page. And it doesn't mean that we can't do some exploring in the meantime. Getting clear doesn't mean you have to like suddenly just have the answer. It means that you get to take some time and play with different possible outcomes and solutions. So I know like I'm ready to be working outside the house again. I'm a massage therapist, and I have enjoyed seeing some clients who are mostly like family and friends, and a couple clients that I took with me through the winter. But I just feel like, okay, now I'm ready to get out again and to be around more people and be around a team, and like I think I'm gonna go crazy if I'm still at the house. So I'm in that place where I'm like, all right, so what is that gonna look like? What kind of situation do I want? What will feel the best? And I have a board like this, like a cork board that seasonally I just put different things up, and I pull things out of magazines that feel good. And right now I'm feeling like a big risk, like a big change. And I'm also an artist. I definitely want time like outside and creating, and I'm feeling like I'm ready to really make money. So there's that kind of like good with money thing, and the girl kind of like just being a badass. So even if it's vague like that, that's not super specific. I really enjoyed taking the time to begin to pull out the things that did resonate with me, and I know that I'll add more as the next kind of week unfolds. So I encourage you to do that as well. And it doesn't have to be something that you glue down and keep forever. I love the idea of the bulletin board because you can get one of these for like $5, maybe $10 at, a Staples or like a craft store. And then just pin up the things that you like, and as you achieve them or they don't feel right anymore, just take them on down and put something else up that feels really good to you. All right, so that is our mind, body, spirit. And here is our past, present, and future. So, interestingly, and I forgot about, there were some reversals. This Five of Wands was in reverse. This Ace of Cups was in reverse. And I'm pretty sure this Two of Swords was in reverse. So, our spirit might even be complete with this process. There might have been a sense from last week where we were really shooting the arrows around. We were kind of figuring out what it is that we want. Maybe there was some argumentation with the different parts of ourselves that were wanting different things, and we weren't clear on what that was. And when a card shows up in reverse, it's often that we're in resistance to that, or we are in completion with that. And there's no bad cards. They're just all showing us what is present, and it helps us to clarify our needs, and it helps us to be conscious of and present with the things that are going on, maybe subconsciously, so that we can heal. And it's really a beautiful opportunity. So we have both of these fives, and this 5 energy is not necessarily an easy energy. It's one of a bit of contraction, but even though this is happening in the body and in the spirit, I think our mind is more focused on this new beginning. So this is just coming up to show us that there's some other layers underneath that we still need to tend to before all this new growth can happen here. And in the past, we're also having this Ace of Cups reversed. And the aces are new beginnings. They're like the seeds of the tarot. And cups are all about emotional healing. Or, excuse me, at least the emotions. And the water in our bodies is what we feel through. So it's very much like an embodied card of feelings, what we're feeling. So when an ace comes up, it might be a beginning to see or feel things in a new way and to heal in some new way. So this is showing up reversed, which is interesting too. So I'm feeling like in the recent past, there's some things that maybe have arisen to show us what we don't need anymore. Maybe it's a feeling of, I am complete with this and I can move on from this now. And rather than a new beginning that will continue in a long line, I think it's like a beginning of an ending, if that makes sense. So it might be the way that we're feeling about a certain relationship, a certain job, a certain way of being. We're really coming to a sense of completion with that feeling. In the present, we are totally in this like vision board energy here. The 3 of Wands is almost like this picture frame here is being blasted open, and we're asking to see beyond what is already here. Even though what's here is lovely, we have these irises and a night sky. There's a part of us that wants to take like a hammer to the edges of this and just open it up and be fully immersed in this. We don't want just a little picture frame on the wall anymore. We want to be living in this amazing, beautiful place where these irises are blooming. So there's a sense of really recognizing what is possible for us and beginning to see a bigger picture, sort of expanding and really leaning into what makes us come alive, what are our passions. And that's kind of a similar energy to that 5 of Wands reversed that we had for the future, where the wands are all about energy, what makes us feel alive, what inspires us, what we're passionate about. And I feel like we're exploring these new horizons and we're getting ready for a big expansion. But after the 3 of Wands does come a bit of a rest. So I think we're still in this visioning period. But getting really clear again on what it is that we want is such an important thing right now. So whatever that means to you, journaling, vision boarding, these things are kind of trendy and seem trite sometimes, but they work and can really help you get clear on your next step if you're feeling like you're about to make some changes in your life. I think that'll be a really helpful thing for you. And in the future, we have this 2 of Swords. And I think this showed up for us last week too. 2 of Swords is all about changing and expanding beyond limiting beliefs. So this is a very much in the mental realm again. And we had that Empress card. I think a part of us knows and is ready for these new beginnings and ready to receive. And in order to really get there, we need to really examine what our beliefs are and be prepared to change and cut through and look at what beliefs might be keeping us from receiving what it is that we're truly wanting. Maybe there's a fear of success, or maybe there's a fear that we're unworthy. Maybe there's a fear of judgment from others. Maybe there's a fear that we don't know enough, the imposter syndrome. And we're really being asked to change and look at this so that these limiting beliefs are really finally, that last thread is cut through so that we can step into our power and receive that Empress energy and complete this new healing that has arisen. So I see it really being, as much as it's like we're close to this time of new beginnings, it's really a time to kind of tidy up the winter weight, whatever level that means for you. Tidy up the winter things that have, accumulated, like stagnant energy in the home, in your body, in your mind, in your heart, and just get things gently moving again. And that can mean casting out some connections with people, beginning to expand the horizons, honoring how much you went through in the last year and how much healing you've really experienced. No matter what, if you survived this last year, you've had like massive healing and transformation, and you're going to be coming out the other side as a new person. And so whatever beliefs might still be holding you back from stepping into that new person that you've thought about and been dreaming about and kind of making space for through the winter, it's now time to begin to really get clear on what that looks like. How will you show up day to day? What habits are important to you and do you cultivate? What kind of foods are you eating? How are you dressing? What does an ideal day look like as this new person that you're ready to step into? And I feel that we will be stepping into her energy very soon. But in the meantime, it's like little baby steps, kind of just feeling into what that might be without too much pressure on ourselves to like change everything all at once. Just examining what actually feels good to me, what actually makes me come alive, and leaning into those things without putting pressure on yourself to force that or have that all the time. So, yeah, it feels like a really kind of what I think we're probably already knowing and feeling, but it's always so nice to have this reflected to us, just to affirm that we're doing enough, we're on the right path, we are loved, and all that you have to do is show up to love yourself first and foremost, to listen to your body, to follow your passions, to honor yourself, to examine what you're really believing about yourself and the world, and asking yourself if that's really in alignment with your beliefs and your truth. So, sending you all lots of love. This feels like a very potent Spring Equinox reading, and if you have any insights you want to share about it, feel free to type them in the chat box. And I would love to pull some individual cards for anyone who wants a little Spring Equinox inspiration. think it's Gayatri and Kiki here, so let me know if you two want a card pulled. I might pull one for myself too. And this will be kind of like a, you know, for the next quarter, like a little ally that you can carry with you and keep to inspire you through this blossoming phase until we move into the summer, which is crazy that it's coming next around the corner. We'll be in summer in like hardly any time. Yay! All right, perfect. I see Gayatri first, so I will pull one for her. I'm so happy you're here, babe. All right, so we're asking for a card for Gayatri for her highest good and the highest good of all. Gayatri, you got the Sun card, and this is all about illumination, especially after a period of darkness, really beginning to see the path laid out before you, to see clearly the next steps that you need to take. It's also very warming and joyful, like pleasant. I mean, it doesn't have to be pleasant, but typically it is like a joyful, like childlike, you know, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, like a really embracing, loving energy. So I think this is going to be a beautiful ally for you, especially as we're moving from spring to summer, having this medicine with you and remembering that the sun is coming back. It's like that Beatles song, you know, here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I said, it's all right. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter, girl, and the sun is coming out. Let's see if there's anything else. I might pull two for you today. See if there's anything else that wants to show up for Gayatri. For her, that might be assistance for her for the next quarter. We got Nine of Pentacles reversed. And the Nine of Pentacles is all about like harvesting things that you've been working hard to achieve. And I know that you have so many different projects and things that you've been working on. And I wonder if there's some resistance to potentially receiving the benefits of that work and all the labor and all the time that you've been putting into it. You know, I know a lot of people who offer like services like you do with the Bollywood dance and yoga, maybe stopped charging during COVID to, thank you, Kiki, to offer, you know, to have like inclusive offers for people. But it might be time to like receive financially, physically, emotionally. And it's also, the nines are also like an opportunity to then like lay out all the things in front of you, the things that you have gathered, and ask yourself what you want to take with you into this next phase. And maybe there's some of it that you want to give away or leave behind. So it's kind of like going through your closet, like, you know, touching each thing. Does this bring me joy? And if not, like leaving it behind. But it's going to be with your life. Like, does the Bollywood dance still bring me joy? Okay, you know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Does yoga still bring me joy? You know, whatever. And asking yourself, what genuinely is still resonating with you. And if it doesn't bring you joy, then it's okay to let it go. It doesn't mean that in another quarter, you know, maybe at the summertime, it might be something you bring back in. But for the next quarter, yeah, just kind of focusing on the things that you really want to keep and letting go of the rest. Yeah. All right, so that is your medicine, my dear Gayatri. And Kiki is next. All my favorite girls. Welcome. Okay, so let's see what medicine is in store for Kiki for this next quarter. What might be a good ally for her to focus on for her highest good and the highest good of all. Kiki, you got the Father of Pentacles, and this is really kind of like a dope, badass businessman kind of energy, like being a real leader in terms of the earth element. So things that you're physically touching and feeling. So this could be like asking for a promotion at your job. This could be showing up to be a leader in terms of like, I know you're moving into a new place, like maybe it's an opportunity to like set some ground rules if you have roommates, and like be the curator and holder of the energetic space that you're going to be sharing, and not being afraid of being that leader figure, you know, who is really looking farther out into the distance and honoring their visioning skills and honoring who they are and really what they bring to the table. So I think that's going to be really powerful for you. This card also showed up in reverse, so I think there might be some resistance to this energy. And first and foremost, it starts with you caring for your own vessel and showing up to really like honor yourself. So that might be a good first step. And as you do that, which I know you're already doing, this leadership piece will come naturally, but not being afraid to really honor your worth and to kind of speak up for your truth and show up in your power and in your leadership. Yeah. All right. Ruin and Company, saw you requested to be in a video. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not, but let me know if you want to still hop on. And if anyone else wants another card, you're more than welcome. I'm going to pull one more for Kiki and see if there's another ally that wants to show up for her for the spring equinox into the summer. Might be good for her to know. We got the Eight of Swords reversed too. So there's this sense of like a completion of a cycle where you're feeling stuck mentally, and all of these swords are sort of imaginary that we've placed around us. And I know that I know you and I know what you're going through, so I'm feeling like the universe is wanting to congratulate you on completion of this cycle and recognizing that you're no longer in this place, and that you might still be feeling some of the ripples of, you know, some of the mental anxiety that comes with changes and new beginnings and all these things, but like you freed yourself and you broke out of jail in some way. So like, amazing job. And the universe is supporting you and things are going to flow into place. So keep following your heart and trusting yourself. I feel like trusting yourself is like a big thing they're telling you, like your value and your worth is so much more than you even realize, but really beginning to like honor and see that. So yeah. Oh, no worries, Ruin and Co. Yeah, if you want a card pulled, let me know. I have a couple minutes still. You are so welcome, Kiki. Yeah. And Mundo Images, if you want a card, dear, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna pull a card for myself so I can see what card will be my ally through this next quarter into the summertime. Ooh, I feel like some big changes are coming. Show me what I need to know. Interesting. I got the Justice card. And this is one of those cards I don't really understand or like. But I will sit with this. I'm going to put it on my altar and see if it comes through a little bit more. I mean, I know that it has a lot to do with kind of cause and effect, and what I put out into the universe I will get back. And so in a lot of ways I'm stepping into my power and my, like, owning my worth as well. You know, I can preach it all day long to everyone else, but this is interesting to me. Balance. And, and it does give me a message. Okay, I know exactly what this is saying to me, but I can't share it with you guys yet. Maybe next week. Okay, we'll see. All right. Ruin and Company. I'm going to pull some cards for you, or one card for you. Card for this next quarter. For the Spring Equinox. Something that can be an ally for you. Ruin and Company. You got the Temperance card. This is one of my favorites. I mean, all of the cards are beautiful and they all have medicine. Sometimes there's just some that you like and some that you don't like so much. Just like people, you love them all, but some of them you don't click with as much, you know? And there's no judgment there. But Temperance is one that, it's just so beautiful. And here we see these beautiful, it's like a peacock, and it's around this like portal of like crystalline fire. And this card is all about working with spirit. And if you're feeling like stuck, or I don't know, maybe you're going to some big changes or you're going through some stuff, you're being asked to give spirit permission to work with you and to assist you. And that's as easy as saying like, hey, I gave you permission to support me. And that can be showing me signs, that can be bringing me messages, that can be bringing people into my life. And you have to take some of the steps, and then spirit will come through and kind of fill in the gaps. We talked a lot about vision boarding earlier, so taking some time to really get clear on what you want and putting that out there into the universe. And you do that step, and like spirit will come to you the rest of the way. So there's a sense of like you are connected, you're being guided, and your guides are asking you to talk to them and tell them what you want help with, and speak to them as you would a friend and develop a relationship with them, and they want to support you. So it's a really lovely reminder. It is a lovely deck. This is The Way Home Tarot by Bakara Whitner, and the art is by Autumn Whitehurst. And I used to follow Bakara. She would do these weekly Sunday readings that I just absolutely love. She would have like 300 people, and she would do what we did today, the mind, body, soul, past, present, future. She would have like 300 people follow her, though. It was insane. I feel honored when I get like 7 people on here, so but doesn't mean that my work isn't valued. So but just a shout out to like Bakara, because she's the coolest. I guess that's it for this week, and I'd love to just close the circle and wrap up with some appreciation for everyone who came and popped on the live tonight, and who collectively gave their energy to this group. And you are so welcome. It's my pleasure. I love these little weekly check-ins. It's so nice for me to have a regular practice and to be able to share it with you all. So yeah, my absolute pleasure. And I offer distance Reiki sessions and distance tarot sessions. And if you live in the Skaneateles area, I also offer in-person massages. So if you're looking for anything like that, hit me up. And let's close the circle with love today. So if you feel comfortable and you want to close your eyes, just invite you to do that. We'll take a minute to just come back to center and just send gratitude to yourself for taking a moment out of your day to just tap in and tune up, to show up just for a moment for yourself, to connect to spirit, to connect to community, connect to your guides. And we say thank you to all of the angels, ancestors, ascended masters, plant devas, animal spirits. Thank you so much for continuing to be our allies and interceding on our behalf. And we feel this new spring energy coming and ask for your guidance and support for each of us as we move forward in a good way. And just send a blessing and love out to everyone who watches this live and on the replay. Thank you so much, and sending you all lots of heartfelt love. And so it is. Thank you, my dears. I will be here again every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we'll always upload these onto YouTube as well, so you can check out my YouTube. It's Resolve to Evolve, and my website is resolvetoevolve.me. And I hope you all have a lovely equinox and a wonderful week, and we'll connect again soon. All right, take care.